Hello everyone, Mirror Limit here, and if you don't know, Kingdom Hearts 4 just got announced like a while ago, like a few hours ago, and there's a new trailer, and I'll have to do an in-depth analysis for this, 100%. I don't know how long this video will be, but be assured that there will be spoilers most likely for the previous games, which there's a lot of games, so if you have not played them, I recommend playing them before watching this video. And without further ado, let's get into Kingdom Hearts 4. Okay, so you can see that we're inside a building right now for Kingdom Hearts 4. This is in Quadratum, but you can see that there's a pillar in this building, which is the Shibuya Hikari building, by the way. And there, the pillar has like writing on it, and it's the Scala et Kylum language that you can see in Scala in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind and Kingdom Hearts 3. That it's the actual language that's in the world, which is more of an ancient language that no one really knows about until now when you see it in this modern day world, which is very curious because my main question here is, how do the people here in Scala et Kylum know the main language, which is an ancient language? So how do they know this and we don't in the Kingdom Hearts universe? Like, is it more of a Quadratum language instead of an ancient Scala et Kylum language? Or maybe they share the same language? Or maybe the Master of Masters is the person who introduced Quadratum to the Scala language, which would be an interesting explanation. But that's really interesting because you see Scala language a lot in this trailer, which hasn't really been pointed out by a lot of people, but that's something that I noticed when I was rewatching those times, which is very, very interesting. So keep that in mind. Also, we have to take into consideration about what is being said in this trailer, as we have the narrator, who I assume is the Master of Masters speaking, and he's talking about the options of worlds are endless for Sora to go to, which is very interesting, which kind of makes me wonder if there are more worlds like Quadratum out there that we don't even know about, which would be pretty cool to see. Multiple universes in Kingdom Hearts, which I think actually will happen to some point eventually in the story, but this quote is mainly mysterious and there's not much to go off of, which makes it even more interesting because the answer to this could be anything. It can have multiple meanings, and that's what I love so much about this trailer. And then right after, you see this darkness thing that is spawning in Unreality, which is Quadratum, which is interesting because Unreality is neither light nor darkness. So how could darkness happen to be in such a place that doesn't contain it? I can see Sora being the reason why darkness is in Quadratum. Maybe him being there made Quadratum an unstable region where darkness is infiltrating it and it's more and more dangerous. Now next, I don't know if we have any Star Wars fans watching, but this looks like Endor, this foresty area. Now I've heard that there are no trees in Japan that have this color that is like reddish in a way. So what we're seeing here could be a tease at a live action world in Star Wars, because this very strongly resembles Endor. And in the next frame, you can actually see the foot of an AT-ST walker, which were used in the Battle of Endor. So I can see this being a Star Wars world taking place in Endor. You can see potentially Sora interacting with Ewoks, Luke, Han, and all the other characters, which would be very cool to see. And you can also fight against the AT-ST walkers, maybe fight against some Sith Lords or something. They can do anything for a Star Wars world, which would be very cool to see because I am a big Star Wars fan. And this makes me wonder the potential other chances of seeing other live action worlds like a Marvel world or something like that, which that would be really cool to see as well. Now next, you see the chessboard again and Sora's piece in the middle of the chessboard. And you see the words, "The choice is yours once more," which is very interesting to see because this is still very mysterious, and it could hint at Sora joining and becoming part of a different world as well. So he has multiple choices to make in this game, and that's how I see it, and this can mean multiple things. And right after that, we're seeing Sora in this more apartment building, which is still Shibuya Hikari, and he has a new outfit, and let me tell you, this Quadratum drip is too clean. This is one of his best outfits, and he looks so good. Like, he looks like a Final Fantasy character, really. Like the whole game reminds me strongly of Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. And I'm sure this is going to be using like Unreal Engine 4 or 5. I heard that it's going to be using Unreal Engine 5 though, which is cool. That it's going to be a next-gen Kingdom Hearts game that's most likely going to be on the PS5 and Series X consoles, and most likely PC as well. And you just love to see it, but I hope they also have some support for the people that are not on the next gen, like the PS4 players and the Xbox One players, to make it more accessible to them, and that would be perfect. But going back onto how Sora looks like a Final Fantasy character, he strongly resembles Noctis and Yozora in a way, which makes sense why Rex and Toybox in Kingdom Hearts 3 mistook Sora for Yozora. Now next, you can see that someone is at this man Sora's apartment. I assume this is an apartment building, but this is Strelitzia, which she seems to be alive and safe in Quadratum, most likely due to Lucio sending her there in Union Cross as the true Dandelion. And she says that Sora's been asleep for 7 days, which is very interesting because it seems like a callback to Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora when he was asleep in the prologue for Kingdom Hearts 2, and we played as Roxas for Kingdom Hearts 2's tutorial. So maybe during the time that Sora is asleep in Quadratum, we can play as a different character for the tutorial, like maybe Yozora or another character like Riku, which we haven't seen neither of them in this trailer, but it would be cool to see in this game, and I'm sure we'll eventually see them in the game. And now we have Strelitzia introducing Sora to the world of Quadratum, which is pretty neat to see. She's like, we get a whole like look through the city. We get to see more of the Scala language on the billboards, which is pretty interesting, like their own lit up signs. And also there's this building called D-Dream and D-Eater, which I see as a Dream Eater reference because they are a species and race in Kingdom Hearts, which is really cool to see. You love to see the references to the original games that happened before this. And I'm sure there's going to be even more references that I haven't even picked up on, which that's what I want you guys to comment down below. Any references that you see that I haven't picked up on. Also, going back to what Strelitzia is talking about, she mentioned Quadratum being an afterworld for her and Sora, which is interesting because she did get smoked and killed by darkness in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. But you also see that Sora is also dead because he died in Kingdom Hearts 3's ending, which is kind of wild. So maybe they're in this place like waiting for someone to save them, which this does go in line with Yozora saying he was sent to save Sora, and he was in Quadratum. Sora was in Quadratum, so maybe this was a hint to what is going to happen. Maybe he's going to crystallize him and try to preserve his body to keep him alive in a way, like he did in the quote-unquote bad ending. And now we see this portal again, which is a dark portal, and this new dark side design, which looks extremely menacing in this city. Like, he looks crazy. Like, compared to the previous dark side design that we've seen in previous games, this man looks like a menace. He just wants to wreak havoc. And we see Sora running into action. He's going to save the people. He's calling on his Keyblade, and this Keyblade comes out, and I assume that he's gonna start at level 1 since he's lost all his powers, I assume, because Charity did say that in Remind. And this shift into gameplay is really smooth. You see Sora using flow motion, and there's also a new option on the command menu, which is called build. Now, I don't have any idea, any clue as to what build could be. I could have some potential ideas in a potential gameplay video, which I do plan to have, and that's going to be really cool to see. Like, maybe he can summon some characters from the Final Fantasy universe, since that is taking a place with summons, since that's where links were. So maybe him summoning characters from the Final Fantasy universe like Cloud or Vivi or something would be pretty interesting to see, and it could represent Final Fantasy in a new way. And that's my current idea on the build. But we also see Sora has some new moves. We see him using his keychain as a form of hookshot in a way to latch onto the car and go up to fight Darkseid. And we also have to note that he also used this drill thing against Darkseid, which could be a new Keyblade transformation in a way, because I do think Keyblade transformations could come back in a way, which would be awesome to see. I think that it will be great to see them expand more on Keyblade transformations, maybe give them new form changes, And that would be awesome for new expanded Kingdom Hearts gameplay. Now while Sora is fighting in his dark side, we can see the Master of Masters and Luxu talking, and the Master said, if you leave this world, don't expect to return from the world you came from. Which is very frightening to see, because where would Sora go to if he left Quadratum? Maybe this hints more toward the live action points that I thought of earlier. Or maybe there's a Kingdom Hearts multiverse which has multiple worlds like Quadratum and Sora's universe, which will be also interesting to see. But I wonder where Sora would really turn up and go to, but I'm sure we'll see more on that eventually. And after this, we see the brand new Kingdom Hearts logo, which is using a brand new font, which I think is an interesting font to use. It's a cool logo, and this represents a new chapter in the Kingdom Hearts series, which you love to see, and I hope to see more of logos looking like this. And after this logo, we see Donald and Goofy in the underworld looking for clues for Sora, but Hades finds out that they're there and they get scared, and I just wonder who they're looking for. I assume that they're looking for Hades because in Kingdom Hearts 2 he did bring back Auron, so maybe they're looking for Hades to potentially bring back Sora or lead them into clues to where Sora could be. Maybe Hades could tell him he's not even in this realm, I can't even summon him. And you can also have Hades giving him clues saying he's in the world where light or darkness doesn't touch, or something like that. That would be really interesting to see Hades maybe helping them out or something. But he definitely wouldn't do it for free, so that's just something that I just really would find interesting to see, how Donald and Goofy would interact with Hades looking for Sora. But anyways, without further ado, I think I found everything that I could possibly find at the moment. But if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I will be covering everything Kingdom Hearts 4 related. And I hope you enjoyed to see more content, because I will have more Kingdom Hearts 4 videos pushing out. And if you want to see more of that, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a video of mine ever again. Also, be sure to let me know in the comments below if you catch any references or callbacks that I haven't even picked up on in this video. I would love to see more and more and know more about this game. So please let me know anything that you may have found in the trailer. And yeah, thanks for watching the video this much. This has been Mirror Limit, and I will see you next time, very soon actually, for Kingdom Hearts 4 videos. Stay tuned.